Welcome to Daddy Porter's double coverage with
Hey, hey.
me, Daddy Porter, and my esteemed colleague, Matt Clark.
Hello, hello.
Now I hear your dog.
Yeah, he's barking
Go
now.
figure,
So,
right?
yeah, as soon as we start going live, you can
Like
hear him.
literally that second, because Matt was like, "Wait, can you hear my dog? I want to make sure everything's good, y'all." And I was like, "No, I didn't hear him." And then we literally say, "Hi, Matt, how you doing?" And I heard the dog before you, but
Puppies are absolute menaces, I swear.
absolutely, absolutely. But they're so adorable. It's
Yeah,
there's wild things going on there. But
yeah,
there's kind of wild things going on here with the meme of the week before we get into the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Matt wanted to talk about this.
I think it's the best meme of the last 2 weeks. Oh man, just Philip Rivers pulling out for the first time in his life. He's making his own football team, really. I mean, like, what are they're going to be wherever he is from? The
And,
rivers, like it's just
it's that's really fun. That's really fun. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So what also is really fun is the big game, and that's what we're here to talk about, Matt. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of historical. There's so many things to talk about the big game.
Mhm.
Not only the on the field matchups, the off the field stuff, the celebrities. It's just all over the place. The location, uh, you know, the halftime show. I mean, it's just all a big spectacle. And one of the things that I like to do is look back. And one of the memes that I jumped on here was the 12 worst Super Bowl losses uh, by I think what point spread here. And obviously, your favorite team is on here, and obviously, my favorite
Mhm.
team would never be on here. But if they were, they would definitely be probably on the loss side. They would probably come in here and give it up big. But outside of the Bears, which I know you will probably want to talk about, is there any other of these games that jump off to you?
I didn't realize that the Raiders just absolutely took it to the Redskins. That
Oh,
I am not familiar with that Super Bowl whatsoever. I mean, I've watched the Bears Patriots Super Bowl a few times. Um just, being a Bears fan, and I know it was historically one of the biggest whoopings in the Super Bowl era. But
mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
the Raiders one pops off the page. Was
Yeah,
that
Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett.
the quarterback?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jim Plunkett. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One of the worst quarterback names, or the best quarterback name, if you want to, whatever angle you take on that one. But isn't it funny that the Raiders are at 6-7 on opposite ends?
Yeah, and
There's
nearly 2
that.
decades apart.
Yeah, that Bears one is so iconic, though. I
Yeah.
think everybody remembers that one. And then the most recent one is interesting, which is the Buccaneers Chiefs one. I didn't think of it as that big of a spread, but that was an ass whooping
Yeah. That
for sure,
was
for
Tom
sure.
Brady's last Super Bowl, right?
That was Tom Brady's last Super Bowl. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He
And
took it to 'em.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's get into the game here. We have 24 minutes left here.
Mhm.
We are at a point to where let's see here. Let's go to this graphic first. The Seahawks and the Patriots are the most unlikely Super Bowl in at least 50 years. Uh, Nobody knew anything about these two teams in general when the league started. This wasn't one of those matchups that we were talking about. We were talking about the Eagles and KC and Detroit and you know what I mean. We were
Yep.
the Bills, the Ravens, of course, are always Y'all always run around talking about the Ravens and the Bengals and all these
Yep.
things, and nobody had Drake May and Sam Darnold. Why not, Matt Clark?
Man. Sam Darnold's had just had an absolutely crazy career, and in general, his his ability to just put in the work to become a better quarterback each season is really impressive to me. Like, because he was awful for the Jets, and no one blames them for getting rid of him. There might be some, shoulda, woulda, couldas now, obviously, but I think it's even a bigger talking point is that the Vikings let him go. Not only did the Vikings let him go, the Vikings let him and Daniel Jones, who Daniel Jones was having an MVP season before he got injured. They let both of them walk off of the roster for 9.
Mm.
Um, and
And it got somebody fired, by the way.
yes, it got the GM fired, which I think is kind of backwards thinking there. But apparently we can dive into that in
In
the
the
off
off
season a
season,
little
we'll get
more.
there. Yeah, we'll
Um,
get there.
but yeah,
Mhm.
Sam Darnold led Seahawks against the up and coming Patriots. God, it's crazy. I don't want to give them, like, obviously credit where credit's due. They won the games that they needed to at the end to get to the Super Bowl and everything like that. Um,
It brings us to this graphic, right?
yes, yes. So that's the thing that worries me about these Patriots. I'm not saying that they are a bad team by any means. I think they are one of the younger teams in the league, and with Vrabel being their new head coach, he's obviously he was a coach for the Titans for years and years and years. Um, I do think it's going to be an interesting dynamic. The Patriots will never beat the allegations of this being the easiest like, they had one of the statistically the easiest seasons to go through, and easiest paths to the Super Bowl. If to bring it full circle back to the other one, if this becomes like a big blowout and goes up on that list of, top 12 biggest blowouts, and the Seahawks just absolutely dominate the Patriots, there will be no question that it was just they had an easy schedule and they got there. I
Okay. Okay.
It's one of
I
those
mean,
it's
that's
one of
fair
those things. It
enough.
might be a hot take, but like debate with a wall. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and yeah, and I don't have that graphic here, but the Patriots played 6 teams that fired their coaches or something like that, and 10
Oh, it
teams
was a
fired their
ton.
coaches or something like that,
It was a
or
ton.
it's yeah, or maybe 7. The point is that they had I don't know if favorable schedule is great, but they sometimes you got to be lucky and good, you know.
Yeah, it's very true. I'm not saying they're a bad team by any means. They took advantage of the schedule and they beat the opponents that they were put in front of them. Like, that's what you have to do to be a winning football team in general.
Right. So
If you
then go on, and I'll address this. Go on.
Oh, yeah, and then, like, a lot of people were saying that about the Bears early in the season too. Like, we weren't playing the best of teams, and we started 0-2, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, same old Bears." Blah 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 blah. But then, like, toward when it was like game time and go time to get into the playoffs in general, the Bears just kept pulling miracles out of their asses and just kept winning. So it matters. It schedule will always matter.
Yeah, and you beat who's in front of you. But at the same time, Mr. JHG down there, listen, these are the facts, man. Hey, should we change the facts? Should we not talk about the facts? These, sorry, Patriot fan, are the facts, whether you like them or not. That's who they played. So y'all didn't pick the schedule. Schedule's put in front of you. Y'all executed to get to the Super Bowl. Really, nothing else needs to be said. So you can
His
blah,
second comment,
blah, blah.
he does make a point. However,
All you want.
You went up
Okay.
against some of the best defenses in the league without offenses.
Mm.
Like you're not beating the Bo Nix led Denver Broncos 10-7. That's just not happening. That game
Mhm.
is you're gonna have to score more points. And Jared Stidham is not Bo Nix. I don't know what Bo Nix is going to be eventually, but he's not Jared Stidham. You know what I mean? Like there's I think the best team that they beat in the playoffs was they played the Bills, right? In the
Yeah.
playoffs?
Yes, they beat
Yeah.
the Bills.
Yes,
Yes.
they beat the Bills.
Yep.
Um and then
My bad. I was looking for something. Yeah, they beat the Bills and then they beat the Broncos.
the Texans. They started off with the Texans.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
And the Patriots defense is really good too. Obviously. I mean, CJ Stroud throwing 4 picks in a game and turning the ball over a total 6 times. You're never going to win a football game like that.
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
so, you know, um it
Why would go on, and then we'll get
no,
to the
I'm just
Seahawks.
saying, like it is what it is. At the end of the day, like the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. They did enough to get there.
Yeah.
You can't. A
I
W is a W at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not dwelling on it, but clearly it's an issue because again, now the Seahawks came from one of the toughest divisions. I think
Yeah.
anybody objectively would agree, or would argue that the Seahawks came from a tougher division this year, even though the Bills, weren't slouches. But
Mhm.
so, how do you see Seattle here? Again, they played some tough teams. They came out of a tough division. They kind of are. I mean, this whole Darnold thing is just new. This is his first year there, so I think that's part of why they went under the radar for. I think they went under the radar, Clark, until they were like the number one seed or whatever. Then it was like, wait, what's going on here? Is this
Yep.
like real or because I don't think I think we all remember Sam Darnold's last game as a Minnesota Viking, and we're kind of
Right.
projecting that on his like what's going to happen forward, meaning we're uneasy about him. But now I don't know how you can be uneasy about him because now he's in the Super Bowl and he's really erased that horrible time that he had in the Vikings. So, and then Seattle's bringing that defense. So where do you see Seattle on
I see Seattle. Seattle has probably one of the best defenses in the league right now. They have absolutely no quit. They're young, so they're all very hungry. Um, and they're coming from a legacy of tough defenses. Like I know I think Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor were in there talking to them about their playoff experience, things like that. Like that's like big time stuff. Like that's, you get guys in there that are hyping you up that have been there and done that. Um, it's a big it's a big boost for them. They're coming from like a legacy defense. Their defense was awful for a few years, but it just seems like it's clicking now under Mike McDonald.
Mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. So do you have any I mean, I guess we can wait to the end, but do you have any, what are your initial thoughts about the matchup?
My initial thoughts, so like my gut reaction is like Seahawks, right? I think I think they're just going to dominate them. But I don't know, like I don't want to count out Mike Vrabel. He is a really good coach. Um, and I think he might have some tricks up his sleeve to like, clock management, things like that. If he can get his defense going early and really fired up, like they can get to Darnold and they can disrupt his game. That's always been something. But second year Drake May is, I think, I don't know if he's still the favorite for MVP. Um, but yeah, like I could see I I can see a way that the Patriots could win, but I just think it's more improbable. I still think it's going to be the Seahawks. I don't think by a large margin, but I think the Seahawks will just definitively. I don't think there's going to be drama at the end of the game. That's what I'm saying.
Mm. So like 31-17 is what I'm kind of thinking. 31-21, something like that for me. I feel I generally what you feel. I feel Seattle is the bigger and badder team. I feel they were more dominant coming in. I think Sam Darnold is just ready to cement his uh, career. He's been, 3 years. Drake May has shown wonderful promise, and it wouldn't surprise me if they pulled it out. But if they pulled it out, it's going to be a squeaker overtime at the end, and Sam Darnold's going to play like garbage if that happens too. So there's a whole lot of ifs and antes there. So where there's also a lot of ifs and antes is the prop bets and the outside forces of the Super Bowl. One of the things that the Super Bowl has this year is Mr. Bad Bunny, who I know that you're a fan of, maybe not his
Mhm.
music, but you're a fan of his other side hobby that I hear
Yeah.
he's a boss at. I've never seen it, but I hear he is an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a great. I'm not a Spanish singer. I'm not a fan of Spanish singing, but he's an amazing international act. He's going to make the Super Bowl, in my opinion, the most watched halftime ever globally,
Yeah.
because of his influence outside of this country, let alone his influence inside of this country. Any quick comments on Bad Bunny and the controversy behind him as y'all see? This says he's not wearing a dress. I'm not sure, but I know there's a prop bet though, and we're gonna get the prop bets in a second, whether he's gonna wear a dress or not, Matt. So where are you at with Bad Bunny?
No, I'm excited for the halftime. Like I look, if you're gonna put Bad Bunny or Taylor Swift, say, in the Super Bowl halftime, it's Bad Bunny 100 times out of 100 times for me. Um, I think she gets enough attention. It's very like pick me energy at this point. Anytime she attends a Chiefs game, it's a event. I don't know, like it's dumb. Um, Celebrities should just be able to go enjoy games and not have the camera all over them the entire time, or like 7 times a game. I'm sorry, like but for real, like they're like, I mean, it's just because like I'm a Bears fan, but like there are many famous Bears fans that just they don't get the same amount of attention, and I'm like totally fine with that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
but speaking of
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bunny,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I watched a lot of Bad Bunny in WWE. My son is a huge WWE fan, got me back into it, so I was watching it. He's an excellent wrestler. I would probably put him up as like one of the top 5 celebrity wrestlers like all time for the WWE. Um, because he was willing to go out there and like do some crazy stuff. Like he had like a Puerto Rico street fight with guy with Damian Priest in Puerto Rico. It was incredible. It was incredible,
Okay.
and the crowd
Okay.
was so
Okay.
good for that
Okay.
whole event. And yeah, seeing them like rally behind their dude was awesome.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the whole spectacle of him and all that and everything that is around this, whether it's the ice stuff and I mean, there's just so much going on. The discourse on this, and then this always fascinates me. I understand where this is coming from, but this fascinates me. Well, I don't like Kid Rock, and we can get to whether we like him or not. But the the counter programming, Matt, of the halftime Super Bowl show is not new this year. We've had wrestling, remember, Matt? We've
Yep.
had all kinds of different things going on to counter the Super Bowl halftime show, and it's all mostly been futile attempts.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not sure how good I'm not sure how good. I think the wrestling one did pretty good though because they literally made it like I think they did it a couple years, right? And then the one year was
Yeah.
really good, I thought, and then they kept doing it and all that. But thoughts on the counter programming And are you going to watch? And do you think anybody watches? Do you think anybody cares? What what's going on with this?
Um, I'm gonna try not to be like super political here, but
Okay, but
I think the Puppy Bowl is gonna get more views than Kid Rock headlining anything. Um, and you know what? Honestly, if he's gonna be out there shilling and bending over for the man, I the world needs more puppies and less Kid Rock. I'll just say that
mm,
straight up. More
okay.
puppies, less Kid Rock.
But that's a prediction though that we'll talk about in 2 weeks. So the Puppy Bowl is going to get better ratings than Kid Rock.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Well, we won't sit on Kid Rock by any stretch of the imagination on this show. But I do want to get back to the prop bets, which I wonder if that's a prop bet, whether the Puppy Bowl is going to get better ratings than Kid Rock. But
it should be.
I
It
would
should
probably
be.
take that. But did any prop bets? Do you involve yourself for prop bets? Do you care? Is it fun for you? Where you at with all that? Because I
Man,
think it's fun,
I
but
got taken to like the absolute cleaners on betting early this season, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I stuck to fantasy football and doing that stuff. Um, but I do really like I like the anytime stuff mostly. I do really like those. Like, will there be a trailer for the Odyssey? Like, give me yes on that. Um, will either team use all 6 timeouts? Yes. I think Vrabel is comfortable enough to use all 6 of his timeouts at some point. I don't know. I haven't watched as many Seahawks games to know just like where he's at. Mike McDonald, I mean, with like timeout usage. Um, QB having a rushing touchdown that has Drake May written all over it. Um, and like a player spiking the ball after a touchdown. Give me all of those as yeses.
and are you putting that on all one like ticket or not?
Cool. No, probably. So I'll say this: the one that I would is a QB with a rushing touchdown and spiking the football. That I would put together because I guarantee you,
Mm,
Drake May, if he gets into the end zone, and I think he's the
mhm,
QB to do it, he's spiking that
mhm,
ball. He's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna like do a shout out to Gronk and just boom, like super spike that ball. Patriots love spiking balls, so
mhm, mhm. Who do we know who does anybody know who's doing the anthem? Because
I have no idea.
I'm gonna do the under on the anthem time. And
Under
then
90
I want
seconds?
is that what it is? Is
Yeah,
that what it
I
is?
think it's 90 seconds in there.
Okay, I'm
Uh
gonna do that. I want Sam Darnold as MVP, actually. Give me Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go on Sam Darnold. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Give me Sam Darnold. And can I get like what do they do with the quarterbacks? Do they like can I get like Sam Darnold and 2 touchdowns or something? Can we do that or Sam
yeah, for
Darnold
sure.
above something? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to do something like that.
Yeah. There is a halftime section on the one that we showed too. Halftime performance be longer than 12 minutes. Will Bad Bunny wear a
Yes.
hat at any point during the show? And what will
Yes.
his last song be?
No dress.
No, no dress on that one. I don't know the dress.
Dang.
Was there a dress thing? Like I'm not even super familiar with that.
Well, so Bad Bunny sometimes when he performs wears dresses because he's a pushing person, kind of like in the aspect of like Prince. If you remember,
Mhm.
Prince was very very feminine, but we knew Prince was a heterosexual man, and all that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But Prince pushed those boundaries. Bad Bunny does that too. So he has shown up in a dress at some of his performances. So then when he was announced, the speculation about the dress started. So I don't know if he ever
Oh,
even said that he was going to wear a dress. And I think
interesting.
he might have been trolling and said, "Yeah, I'm going to wear a dress or something," but I don't think that's ever been confirmed. And yeah, so it's a whole kind of thing.
Huh.
So
Interesting. You know, teach their
right,
own,
so
whatever. Like
I thought it was going to show up in the I thought it was going to show up in the prop bets, and it might show up somewhere in that. Will
yeah,
he?
I'm
But listen though, it's clear because uh, you know, uh, hold on a second here. TMZ looks like they had to address it. So clearly the rumors are at least out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. I think he's going to go over
So
the 12 minutes, and I think he's going to wear a hat. Just throwing it out there.
yeah, and then there so I like the halftime prop bets because there's all like, is he gonna bring anybody out? Or, sometimes
Mhm.
they even have like the start, the people that he's like close to in the industry, and then they
Yeah.
have like check marks next to who might come out with him
Mhm.
and perform with him and all that. So yeah. So Matt, we are at the point of our uh contest. That's funny, where it's the 2-minute warning, Matt. It's the 2-minute warning. And Matt wanted to address the bonehead of the week. Or yeah, the bonehead of the week, right, Matt?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you
This
ready
one,
for this?
yeah, this one's like
Are y'all
hot
ready?
off the presses. And we're gonna
Are
we're
y'all
gonna
ready for
probably
this?
dive into this a little bit more, but Roger Goodell saying, I'm amazed at how good our officials are. Give me a fucking break, dude. Like, I can't imagine being so unaware of your surroundings. There's probably somebody that walks around with Roger Goodell to make sure he doesn't get hit by a car crossing the street. Like, you can't you can't say at how good, like, it's such a bold thing to say, knowing how much controversy comes down to the officials every single Sunday. And to say that they're good, he could be like, I'm amazed at how well they're upholding what they see as the rules, or I'm happy with the level of participation of the referees in games. And even that's like kind of a stretch, but it's just ridiculous. It's so it's just too much. Like I can't no. It's just wrong. It's just flat wrong.
All right. So, on that note, we know that you would like to address this further. So, we'll let you actually on the way out here, but we're going to wrap up here. We're at our 30-minute mark. The big game is this week. So, we made this a week out, y'all. So, y'all could watch it at any time
Mhm.
to see what we think. And we're talking about this. So, I have 31-21 Seattle. Matt, do you have a final answer on? Do you have a Gonna give us a number?
I like 27-14.
Okay. Okay.
I think I just
Seattle's
yeah, Seahawks. I can see the Seahawks defense giving Drake May a really, really tough challenge.
all right.
And
All
I and
right.
I think JSN is probably one of the, we didn't even talk about JSN in any of our preview stuff, but JSN is an
Mhm.
absolute beast, and he might be one of the best emerging wide receivers in the league.
All right. Well, on that note, we will get to him in the off season, I'm sure,
Mhm.
without a doubt. And on that note, we're going to get out of here. But Matt, I know that we left you with this on here, and we'll leave him on there. And I figure you can just continue to talk about this, and we will just take you out. We'll just end it as
Oh
you
god.
speak on. If you
Put me on
if
the
you wanted
spot.
to address, if you well, you were just you were talking about it before, so we
Yeah,
could just
I
finish it. But I really wanted to tee you up about how does this specifically hit how did the officiating hit your Bears this year?
poorly. It was really bad. There was a lot of phantom calls and a lot of just absolutely ridiculous stuff that just doesn't get called, and or would get called that was not an actual issue. Um, and everyone
You
says
got
that
one that
about,
stands out? You got one that stands out that
there
changed the
was a there
game
was a
that we need
holding
to
there was a holding call that erased a touchdown. Um, I I want to say it was against the Packers the first time this year, and it nullified a touchdown that we desperately needed. And yeah, cost us the game.
And the number 1 seed.
Yep, and the number 1 seed.